Hey everybody, it's Karen at Simply Living for Him. I'm here to do my devotional, and you never know where I'm going to decide to record these, right? Sometimes it's in my pajamas, sometimes it's in my yard, sometimes it's in my office, sometimes it's in the car. It's just when I get that moment and I'm like, now's the time I want to speak. So I was at the doctor's office today, and it's a different experience these days when you're at the doctor's office, and everybody was in masks. Everybody had to sit 6 feet apart in the waiting room, and you can go in there feeling very anxious or just discouraged or fearful. Oftentimes we complain, and I was just so struck. Like I said to my son, who I was with, I was like, this is just so nice. Now, I know that sounds weird, right? 6 feet apart in masks in the doctor's office in the middle of a pandemic. But it was so nice because literally everybody there was like over the top being nice. And this is not the first time I've experienced this during this time. I've experienced this several times when I've gone out. So it made me think of Philippians chapter 2, verses, I think it's 14 to 15. I don't have my Bible in front of me because I'm in the car, but it says there, do all things without complaining or disputing, so that you may shine like a light in this crooked generation, this depraved world. I'm totally paraphrasing, but go look that up. I don't know if these people were Christians or not, but they were shining light. Everybody was kind, and everybody looked in your eyes. So even though we were behind a mask, everybody looked in your eyes, and you could tell they were smiling, and everybody was cheerful, and it just makes a world of a difference. And if people can do that in the middle of a pandemic, why can't we do that in everyday life? What a difference it makes. I know that right now it feels like a depraved world out there. I feel like the internet is a negative place, but every time I go out in person, I have a positive experience. So I think that says a lot. I believe that people right now where I am in New Jersey, we were hit really hard with the COVID virus. And so I feel like maybe the reason, people just want to be connected with other people. Our souls were made to connect with other people. And so I feel like that. I feel like when they're out, everybody's like over the top extra nice because we have been separated for the past 2 or 3 months, and it's like, people, maybe we've reevaluated our humanity and we want to be nicer. The internet's discouraging because every time I go on there, I'm like, oh, it's a wicked and depraved world and everybody's negative and everybody's fighting. But yet when I see people face to face, whether it's behind a mask or not, people are positive. And so maybe where you are, they're not, because I posted that on Facebook and a few people said, well, not where I am. But you have the opportunity to be that positive person, and that positivity will shine like a light in this dark world, especially now. You will stand out like a star in the sky. You can't help but shine Jesus's light when you have it in you. And so what a beautiful thing to see that even in the midst of circumstances where we have to be masked and sit apart, that people can be kind and not complain, and can be gentle and good. Goodness like shines out of your face. Like I just saw so much positivity. The people that work there went over the top to accommodate, and they were kind. And there was an older man in there, and he was talking to the doctor, and he came on the wrong day. It was so sad, and she had to go out there and say, I'm sorry, today's not your appointment day. I can imagine for this older man, he came there. It was probably a struggle to get there. He was like walking real slow, had to go up the elevators, put the mask on, have your temperature taken at the door, wait. And he didn't complain. He wasn't like, negative. He just was like, I'm so sorry. And then he said to the doctor, and she's really busy. She's trying to explain to him, I'm really busy. Otherwise I'd see you, but I really can't see you today. I have to see you tomorrow when your appointment is. And he's just like, tell me about your family. And you could tell she was really busy, and she's like, oh, I'll tell you tomorrow when I have more time. And then he just kept asking questions, and she just kind of like, I don't want to say humored him because it wasn't like that, but she just kind of let him connect with her. And I felt like, boy, I wonder if this man has been like, just shut in his house, and he's just longing for connection. And the fact that she just took time, and I know she was busy, and it's crazy in the doctor's office, there's all these extra protocols. It was beautiful. So let's be like that doctor. When you see somebody who just wants to connect, rather than get aggravated, rather than complain, rather than focus on the circumstances, focus on God in the circumstances, focus on people in the circumstances. We have such an opportunity right now to shine because it's so dark. We're obviously going to shine. The light shines brighter in the darkness. So I encourage you today. I hope that little story about that man encouraged you, because I keep thinking about that. It was such a picture of this doctor focusing on what matters most, people and relationships, and it was beautiful. And so I will say that later on I heard somebody in the office say something about, the Lord says to forgive, and she was, talking, and it sounded like she was a Christian. And you could feel that in there. You could feel that, God's light was shining in the doctor's office. And whether everybody was in there was a believer or not, I doubt it. But people are noticing, and positivity is contagious, and kindness spreads. And so you have an opportunity today to shine your light for Christ or to grumble and complain. And Paul says in Philippians not to grumble and complain. Do all things without complaining or disputing. And Paul was in jail when he said that. So let's take that to heart. Paul was in jail, and he tells us not to complain, that we should shine. That's what he did while in jail. I think we can do that too these days. The circumstances aren't easy, but we still have Christ. And Christ in us is everything. And let's let the world see that.